So I stopped by Nutrimart first. Kind of talking through some of these images. Then I went to Whole Foods. So what I ended up doing, after of course preparing, protein shake, magnesium, pre-workout, is I made 3 what ostensibly were going to be bigger lunches and 2 bigger dinners. What that ended up becoming was 3 bigger lunches of 6 ounces of chicken, 4 ounces of broccoli, and 2 bigger dinners of 8 ounces of chicken, 6 ounces of broccoli, with about 4 ounces of chicken left over. Looking at my spreadsheet here, in the past 2 years, it took me about 24 weeks to get to my current weight. So April 11th of 2022, I had gotten back up to 190.6 pounds. I'm only 5'7", and yeah, so I'd probably say I was a good 25% body fat at that weight, so not doing too good. In about 24 weeks, I'd gotten down to week 24, it says a high of 155.6, a low of 153.2. So let's call it 154 in the middle, 70 kilograms. Then, like I mentioned in my Call for Fire video, it wasn't until week 38 that I had completed the shot over and I kind of hit my minimum weight, which was 148.9. And that week 38 is pretty much the point at which I can say, like, this, how I am now, was stuck. So 38 weeks. But the step mill, Jacob's ladder, Concept 2 rower, and of course the bike, which kind of replaced the rower a little bit later in this training period. The step mill, as of yesterday, I'm not going to count today's bike, but as of yesterday, on the step mill, I completed 608 miles in the past 2 years, 115 miles on the Jacob's ladder, 247 miles on the Concept 2 rower, and 4,632.7 miles on the bike. So that puts me at a total of 5,607 miles and change, which is roughly a little more than a round trip from here in San Diego to Kauai and back. Because Kauai is 2,681 miles from San Diego. So it's a little more than double that and back, which makes sense because the airport's in Lihue and I live in Waimea. So that accounts for the extra. So it's like basically if I went from here all the way back to Waimea and then back under my own power. And it took me 2 years to do that. Probably the biggest takeaway from this 2-year training block. So now I've been training 28 years. The first 26 years of training have ostensibly been for some kind of performance or aesthetic focus, right? So lose weight, get bigger, get stronger, train for Afghanistan, train for a school, faster run times, bigger bench, yada, 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 right? The entire rest of my training. These 2 years, I have minimized to almost a negligible amount alcohol consumption. I have not deviated from my diet even a single day. The entire focus has been prioritizing the things that will improve my health markers. And consequently, while I'm not the strongest I've ever been, I'm certainly the fastest at 46 years old. I am certainly the leanest. I am certainly the healthiest. And so sacrificing a little bit of strength for that, I think, is a pretty fair ROI. And again, really the only reason why I've even sacrificed the strength is because there just hasn't been the ability to focus on that and also accommodate work and life and travel and all these other things that have to take priority above training. So that's fastest, leanest, healthiest, but also in the best headspace, with the best relationship with my friends and family, with the best place professionally. All that to say, folks, and especially young people listening to this, by prioritizing on my mental and physical health over how I look, how much I'm benching, whatever, I got all those other things along the way. But when the whole other, quarter century of training I've done, when my priority were those other things, I might have gotten like one or two of those things at the expense of everything else. Mental health, physical health. I might have, had a massive incline press, but my run time suffered. I might have, high blood pressure, liver values jacked up, PTSD, depression, anxiety, all these kinds of things. I guess the real lesson here, the point of this video, the 2-year recap, and the point of this channel and my social media in general, and why I even do this as kind of a passion project, is prioritizing your health on the surface doesn't seem like it's the move to make, because that's not the thing that you're concerned with. You're concerned with the bench or the abs or the run time or whatever. But that stuff comes with the health, but the health doesn't necessarily come with that stuff, because order of operations, priorities of work, is most certainly a very important thing in all aspects of life. But the past 2 years have demonstrated to me almost like glaringly so, that when it comes to training, particularly training longevity, not just longevity as an organism, as a human, like living a long time, but just if you enjoy training and you want to keep doing this into your 40s, like I am, and then into your 50s, 60s, and 70s, you're going to want to take a step back, and instead of your training being this separate thing over here, figure out how you can integrate it into a more holistic approach to go about your entire life. Stay in the fight.